haircut, Dad.
Unless you want to look like a rooster, do you?
Welcome to the afternoon entertainment hour at OJ's Juice Bar, and here's today's juice.
Hey, there's Buckingham Palace, kid. That's where the Queen lives and works.
Works? Well, what does she do, Dad?
She cleans. She vacuums.
This is your host, OJ, and most of you guys know me as Orlando Jose.
That's me!
You're listening to KXVS, the voice of Stockton. And welcome back to the afternoon entertainment hour on OJ's Juice Bar, and here's today's juice. Let's see what the juice brought in the house today. Alright, I can't really hear us, Dustin Bakefield. If you could help us out for a bit.
There we go.
Can we get some sound? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. There it goes. Must be all that snow.
Somebody messed with the headphone adjustment here. I have to fix it again.
Oh.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, I thought it was, the reindeers blocking the signal. I don't know.
Hey, OJ. How you doing?
All right. And today's special guest, who we have here?
Christina Fugazi.
And welcome back to the entertainment, OJ's Juice Bar show. And here's today's juice. So let everybody know how so busy have you been and what great things Stockton comes?
Ooh, it has been really busy, and, as the holiday season falls upon us, it just goes into overdrive. And I have to tell you that this past week, there's been some great things going on, and it's only going to continue through the new year. Something that happened that wasn't here in Stockton, but was Stockton related on more than one account was I went down to Fresno, California on Friday night it was called Fight for Water 6. It was a boxing event, and there were 7 cards. There were 7 competitions or matches going on, and one of them had a local boy, Callisto Madera, and they call him Kilo the Kid. And so when they announced him, the crowd was like, and from Stockton, we have Kilo the Kid. And I jump up, yay! Because there were thousands and thousands of people. This was at the Save Mart Center right down by Fresno State. Anyway, then the next guy, and against him is Joe Lopez. And you just heard the crowd.
A lot of people came out supporting.
Well, he was from Fresno. Joe Lopez was from Fresno. And I'm telling you, they had him there. They touched gloves. They backed up, and then ding, ding, ding. And he came out. Kilo the Kid came out just bombing on this Joe Lopez guy. I don't think he knew what hit him because he started to leak. And when I say leak, he got a cut by his eye, and the blood just started pouring down. And as soon as the bell rang at the end of the round, the doctor jumped into the ring to look at his face. And so they were Vaselining it up, cleaning it, putting Vaseline
sure he's available to play.
Yeah, to keep fighting. It's supposed to be 6 rounds. Anyway, Kilo knocked him down twice, had him in the corner just straight, like I said, bombing on him. Kilo got hit a few times. It looked like he broke his nose afterwards because he came down after his fight at the end of the night. I got to talk to him, and I'm just like, we got to do this in Stockton. Because we've got Gabriel Flores, the youngest ever to sign pro, that had represented us in the Olympics, and here he is. And his father, Gabe Flores, has a gym, and he's got several fighters he's training. Callisto, he has a brother, Hector Madera, who's also a fighter. So I'm thinking we should do this at the arena. They used to have fights at the Civic Auditorium way back when.
Yeah, we have legendary fighters like Yaki Lopez from Stockton and all these great gyms here. And why can't we showcase people from all the way from Sacramento down to Bakersfield and here in Stockton?
Right.
Frank DeBarro's gym.
Yeah. Right. And the thing about it was, the title Fight for Water. So the main event, the young man in the main event, he is from a family of farm workers down in Fresno. And without water, in order to, do their crops because of the drought, they're out of work. And it's been a real struggle. And so they are fighting for their water rights as well as what we're doing up here. And so that's why the title of the event was Fight for Water. They've had several of them. This was Fight for Water 6. So I'm trying to think, his angle or his promotion was that story. And I look at the story of Stockton, and what I said is that we're very resilient, passionate people here in Stockton, very family-oriented, very, history-oriented. And I'm just like, we've got a story to tell, too, because people think they count us out. Don't ever count Stockton out. We are never going to be out. We might have our obstacles. We might stumble and fall at times, but we are resilient. We're going to get up, we're going to dust ourselves off, and we're going to keep moving forward. And so I'm sitting here thinking to myself, that arena, Vicente Fernandez fills up that arena. Well, we're going to fill it up with fans from Modesto, Manteca, El Grove, Sacramento, you up and down the valley. People are going to want to come here to see some of these fights. And so it's just a matter of, working out the details. There were a lot of sponsors for this event, though. So on the tables, I was at a table on the floor, and they gave out these little key rings that are boxing gloves. They had gum on the table, and then they had this great thing. They had cards. So kind of like you have baseball cards and football cards, they have boxing cards. And the boxing cards were the different individuals that were fighting in the match. And so Kilo has one in here. His brother Hector is in here as well. So yeah, I mean, just really cool night. They had chips and salsa on the table. So I mean, I was straight snacking. It was all good for me.
Yeah, and I can't see why we can't do this in Stockton, because we have places all around. We have Alex G. Spano Center. We have the SMG. So we have all these places where we could hold big boxing cards for local big talent and even get some bigger names in here. So it'd be fun to see some legendary boxers or people coming back to basically promote something that's this region's kind of known for.
Like they said, this was a boxing town, or this is a boxing town.
Well, yeah.
Even one of our politicians was a boxer.
Yeah.
Tom Petty.
And we've had Mike Tyson. We had the Spinks brothers
yes,
here.
Edison a couple months ago.
Yeah, and it's just like, I think that we should. And here's the interesting thing on top of all that. So I go into the Save Mart Center, and I'm going to, down to the floor, and I look at the wall, one of the doors, double doors, and it says SMG on there. It has the SMG logo, and I'm like, SMG manages this arena? Well, guess what? They manage ours. So there should be no problem for them. They've done it before. Let's just do it up here in Stockton. Let's get it done. And so I spoke to Mr. Flores. He said he's down for it. I spoke to Maderas, and they're like, we're down for it. We'll get some, all local for every card. We just got to, get people who are willing to come in and maybe instead of the Stockton slap, get the Stockton KO.
I volunteer to work for it. Somebody who works in sports. It'd be fun.
Yeah, definitely fun. So we did that on Friday night, and then on Saturday, we had the tree lighting downtown, and that tree was donated by the Duffy family. And Michael Duffy is the CEO for Financial Center Credit Union.
I was saying at the bank.
Yeah, and last year our tree burned down. It was after the holidays, but it burned down, and we had that tree for many, many years, but we had to, unfortunately, we were like, how are we going to replace it? And Mike Duffy stepped up to the plate, and it's a beautiful tree, and we had snow, going after we lit it, it started to snow. Well, not really, but it was bubbles. But it was like snow. The kids were singing up on the stage. It was just beautiful. And then we had the return of the annual boat parade. And that was great because that's been out for 3 years.
Yeah. Talk about boat, because I remember a long time ago I used to see Santa on a boat. That was a long time ago for my sake.
There was a guy playing the saxophone on there. It was live, had the mic on there, because I'm like, oh, he's not playing. Then I saw the mic. I'm like, he is playing. But it was great. It reminded me of 4th of July with all the people downtown. and out to celebrate, and the weather was perfect. It wasn't too cold, because there have been times when it's been rainy and wet. Last year was really cold. The temperature just dropped. I remember Orlando. I ran into you down there covering it, and then from there headed over to the Sycamore Club. And the Sycamore Club is where Plea for Peace used to be way back when. It's where the stock market originated, but they've redone the whole facility, and they had indoor, outdoor. They had a DJ, and everybody was dancing. And then from there, they went to a live band, and they had this guy rapping some Common. I thought it was Common that was on the DJ was spinning, and but it wasn't Erykah Badu, doing the background. And so I went and I looked. I'm like, oh God, somebody's really doing that.
Playing the song.
So I went live on Facebook, and it was great. And here it is. So we started out with the lighting of the tree. Then we went to the boat parade, and then you just went down Weber Street. A few more blocks down Weber Street, there were food trucks, there was coffee, there was a bar open, there were vendors there were different organizations there. Visit Stockton was there. And there must have been a couple hundred people there, and it was fabulous. I just was like, you know what? Thank you for coming to my district.
Yeah, did they, what's it called, was it schools sing caroling or anything over there?
They had professional carolers who've done it before, but it was, and then the kids all went up and sang, and then everybody in the audience. I mean, we sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, we sang Jingle Bells, and we sang Silent Night. And all the parents were super excited, and there were arts and crafts out there. You could get hot chocolate, and there were some food items.
I remember last year they had those big giant horses, carriage
tracks. Yeah, we had that too.
Oh my God, those are big old horses.
Oh yeah, Clydesdales. Yeah, they had that again this year. The fire department was out there. It was sponsored by the fire department, University of Pacific, and I feel really bad now. I don't remember the third sponsor for the event, but it was great, and traffic was awful for people getting down there. I guess they had a road or two closed, a lane or two closed on I-5, so it took some people like 40 minutes to get there, and then all backed up on Fremont, and I live downtown, so it was easy for me. I got there and hop, skip, and a jump to get to all the places I needed to. But it was so nice to see all these people out, safe event. The perception is always not the same as the reality. And so I thought people had a fabulous time. I had a fabulous time. And come on down. There's lots going on.
When you were talking to most of the, skipping from that, jumping back to the boxing, to some of the boxers, you're saying that, did they ever tell you, like, how did the judges judge them, or what's the points, or
oh yeah, they did that. Kilo won, I think, every round but one, because he got knocked down once, not all the way down, just took a knee and then popped right back up, but he won every round but one of them.
Because I know watching on TV is pretty crazy, but actually being there and seeing it,
well, you get points. You get points for landing punches, obviously, and and if you get knocked down or, find yourself in trouble, the other guy gets points for that. I'm sure you can probably talk a little bit.
It's basically 1 point is if you get a body shot or not, defense wise too. So it's a complicated game. It's kind of sometimes they say boxing is a science basically. So there's a form to it, and judging, people love the judges, but some people hate the judges actually, depending who your guy is.
Yeah.
Don't leave it in the judge's hands if you're a boxer or a fighter.
Yeah. See, I videotaped the part of the first round where Kilo came out just bombing on him, and then I did the last round. Because again, Kilo, he was hitting him. The guy was bleeding so bad that when you hit somebody and the sweat flies off of him. Ooh. This was blood flying off of this guy every time he hit him. Blood was splattering. Kilo's shorts at the beginning of the match were white, and they were pink at the end. He literally had blood on his body from his opponent, from this Joe Lopez guy. But you could see them, bouncing back and forth, back and forth, because they didn't want to let him, you don't want to let your opponent just land one on you. You don't want to just be, stable and just say, yeah, come on, opposite of, Nick and Nate Diaz saying, come on, bring it, But yeah, it was, it's very interesting. And the main event was kind of a sleeper, a snoozer. We were like, oh, because Kilo and Joe were just going at it the whole match. And so it was, after that, it was kind of like a little bit of a letdown as to the fight. So,
I'll be back for nachos. I'll be back.
Yeah, but people were just going crazy. And this was the other thing that, at the beginning of the fight, everyone was like, yeah, Fresno, and boo, Stockton. And then all of a sudden you start hearing this, Kilo. By the last round, they were just chanting his name, and I'm like, oh, now everybody wants to get on the Stockton ticket now, huh?
Right.
I was like, okay, we'll take you. So, join the team. The guys that we were sitting at were graduates of Fresno State, and they were like, nah, man, nah. But by the end...
Yeah, how was your seating?
Oh, we were on the floor. So we were at table 43, just outside of VIP. But it was phenomenal right there on the floor. I was standing up, and the guy behind me, though, he's like, hey, come on, can you sit down so I can watch the fight too? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just, I'm from Stockton, and I'm really excited that our guy is winning. But anyway, but it was all good, and it was a great night. It was a really great night.
So yeah, the boxing, and then I was for the water.
Yeah. That's kind of the story, and there were, like I said, there were entire families, 10, 12 deep. They were bringing the little ones, and the older ones, 3, 4 generations of families going in there. And it was cold down there in Fresno. We stood at, I was standing at the door just to feel the heat that was coming in, from the inside outside, because the line was so long. It was just this really long line. But I was so excited to see everybody out there. I mean, we had to park far away. Yeah, but I'm just like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. And they had promotional tickets that they were giving out. You could be in the upper for, I think, $3, because they have, theirs is, you have lower level, then you have the suites, and then you have like the nosebleed, the upper level. Our suites are at the very, very top, and then we have club and upper seating, and then lower seating. But how it's set up for hockey, we would, get rid of that if you've ever been there for a concert or something like that, and have floor seating. You could do tables. I saw people coming in mink coats. I mean, and 6-inch heels. I was just like, ooh, your back's hurting. And suits, and I mean, people showed up really dressed up.
A lot of full that whole place.
And then people in T-shirts and jeans. So it's really, and it was all ethnicities as well. Mm-hmm. So it's really kind of interesting because it attracts so many different people. And if you've ever been in Vegas, like I've been in Vegas for the Pacquiao fights before, it's usually the first weekend in May. So one year I went out there, and it was just phenomenal, the amount of people that love boxing. And I'm not a real boxing fan, but when you got somebody local, got me in there, enticed me, because like in hockey, I don't like when they fight. I'm like, it's the only place you can legally bomb on somebody and get away with it is boxing, cage fighting, MMA, and hockey are the places where you can really put the hurt on somebody and not worry about getting arrested.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, and then they got a sign and everything, to just know all that was what goes on with the package deal.
Right. And Kilo got a belt. He got his first belt, even though he has had he's had 4 fights that he's won. 2 of them were knockouts. This one went all 6 rounds, so he's 5-0 now. But he got a belt, and he got paid for that fight as well. So he got a check. I didn't see how much it was for. They had him up on the stage. So the winner got a little bit more than the other guy. Unlike, when you think of McGregor getting the $1 million and Nate only getting, $100,000 or whatever, even though Nate, slapped the bloop out of him.
Right.
And the thing with this boxing thing, if we do it here in Stockton, we can make a festivity out of it too, and it could be like an annual thing that would be pretty cool to see because, like that certain date around that year, that's Boxing Day basically.
Right. That would be awesome.
And they did a movie. Was it Fast City? A long time ago.
Yeah, a book. Yeah. A book was written and a movie. And actually, the guy who wrote the book is from here. And I met him. He autographed a copy for me. And so it's just really, I think that, we need to ride this way. And Jorge Martinez, he was a judge, or he was a referee, a boxing referee. And he used to be very involved. He's also written a book, and he's a local guy here. And he's been pushing to bring it back. But it just hasn't gained momentum. But when you sign the youngest ever professional contract,
with a premier promotion like Top Rank,
yeah,
Manny Pacquiao, basically,
right.
yeah, that's the promotion Manny Pacquiao fights for. It doesn't get bigger than that.
No, it doesn't, and I don't think people realize that because if you don't follow the boxing world, you wouldn't know.
Signed with Bob Arum, one of the most, next to Don King, probably the best boxing promoter of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need to bring it.
Yes.
We need to showcase that here and show it off and say, hey, this is Stockton.
Yeah. Especially like you said, it was a SMG, whatever.
Yep, SMG.
Yeah, make it happen.
Well, if you know who I need to talk to.
I
know how. Let's do that real quick. Let's just but yeah, it's pretty wild. So we're going on break.
Let's go to break real quick, and when we're going to break, you're going to be listening to Beloved Sister. We can do this right here on KXVS, the voice of Stockton.
Hey, if it doesn't feel right, then it ain't. And all I felt before was hate. But then you came along and erased. Then all I wanted to do was create, and I did. But the truth is we did this together. Who says love isn't forever? My heart flies, it doesn't flutter. I stay dry, cause you're my umbrella.
Everyone has a chance to do right.